Hello and welcome to the Danesh Show. I'm Eva Danesh. Today we are joined by the Honorable Lili Bosse. Mrs. Bosse is a two-time mayor of Beverly Hills and a current member on our city council. On March 3rd, she will be on the ballot for another term as a powerful force on our city council. Mrs. Bosse, thank you so much for joining me here today.
I am so thrilled to be here. I've been excited all day.
Me too. So you have served on countless committees and boards in our community and have been such an active member of our community and have served as mayor twice. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got started and how you got to where you are today?
Thank you. And again, thank you so much for having me here today. I grew up here. I grew up in Beverly Hills, and I went to the schools. I went to Beverly High, Beverly Vista. My parents were Holocaust survivors, and they moved to Beverly Hills to give their only child the American dream. And growing up here, really, there was just such a sense of community, and I just never, ever wanted to leave. It really shaped everything who I am. I mean, even my orange and my campaign orange is because of Beverly. Really the best years of my life were here in the Beverly Hills schools. It helped shape everything that I am, and I just always wanted to give back and never let go.
And as a child growing up in our city, did you always know that you wanted to be part of government and wanted to be a politician?
Well, I don't know that I knew that, but what I did know was being part of this incredible community, it always felt like an extended family. You know, the thing about Beverly Hills, although it's renowned everywhere in the world, everybody knows about Beverly Hills, but what people don't realize is that we also have a very small town connecting feeling. And that's what I love so much about this city, is that I just feel a very small town, extended family. Everybody is kind, has a big heart, and I think I always knew that I never wanted to leave that and always wanted to give back to the community that really helped shape me.
And you mentioned that your parents are Holocaust survivors. How has that affected your outlook on life and the type of leader that you are today?
Oh, thank you. You know, when I ran for office, I told everybody that I was an only child of Holocaust survivors. And people would say to me, why are you even mentioning that? What does that have to do with running for office? And as it turns out, it has everything to do with it. It absolutely shapes everything about who I am. It gave me a sense of a work ethic, a sense of wanting to give back to the community, being part of a community. I had, you know, my mom was a survivor of Auschwitz. And her motto in life, every single day, she told me to never give up. That's what I hear every day in my life, never give up, never give up. And I think for me, you know, in politics, in my life motto, it's that sense of you can do anything, all things are possible. And my other life motto is to start with yes, always. Start with yes, figure out how, and then get it done.
That's awesome. So Jewish causes are obviously very near and dear to your heart. How did the community and how did our politicians react a couple months ago when there was a tragic act of vandalism at our local Nesach synagogue?
Yeah, that, you know, even as you bring that up, I see it in my mind's eye. I was there that Shabbat when it happened, and was walking around and seeing the vandalism, and it's something that shaped me. You know, I still see it in my mind's eye, and it was just so painful to see, you know, the most sacred parts of us, you know, the Torah, the yarmulkes, thrown all over, thing torn and such. And I remember I just stood there with Rabbi Shofet, who's a rabbi, and Nessa, and we cried together, because it was just so painful to think that even here in our own city that this could happen. But it brought us even more together. And I think even out of that darkness came light, because what you saw in our community was a sense of togetherness and a sense of, you're not going to do this here. And as you probably know, our police department caught the guy within days, caught him in Hawaii. And that's the message. If you even think of doing something bad in our city, you will get caught. So as painful as that was, it really brought our community together and stronger, and just a sense of love and, commitment to being together and not allowing anti-Semitism or racism ever to stop us.
And what measures have been taken since the attack that can make our community feel safer going to not only religious places, but just anywhere in our city?
Yeah, actually what we have been doing with our police department is we now have been putting cameras everywhere, which was part of the reason how we caught that guy. We will have, and we are still working on it, cameras on all of our city streets, on all the residential streets, all through the business district. Our police chief has met with all the houses of worship. Every house of worship has cameras outside. They're working on a panic button that will be in any house of worship. If God forbid, in one moment somebody could push the panic button and the police would be there, momentarily. So there's added security, whether it's cameras, more enforcement, and just clearly messaging in this community that don't even think about doing a crime in our city because you will get caught.
And speaking more on safety, switching over to our schools, in recent years there have been a lot of unfortunate attacks at schools, and that could be very scary for students and parents and anybody in our community. How have you and other officials worked with our schools and with our police department to make sure that our campuses are safe?
Oh, that's first and foremost, is to make sure that our schools are safe, our houses of worship are safe, our community is safe. We have had many meetings with our school officials and our police department to devise the best security measures possible. Again, we have cameras everywhere. We have elements in place. We have security here, as you know, at the school. We have armed guards. We have our police department, so that no stone is unturned, that every kid who comes to school, every parent who sends their child to school can be assured that they are safe. And we've been working on that all the time. There's nothing more important. Absolutely not.
And safety has been part of your Healthy City campaign. So your Healthy City campaign involves healthy people, businesses, and government.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit about how you got inspired to be followed through the word healthy?
Yes, thank you. I was the mayor when it was our city's 100th birthday. And I was thinking about, a milestone birthday. Whenever we have a birthday, our own personal birthday, I always tend to do some reflection about, how am I feeling physically, mentally, emotionally? What is it that I want for the future? So when it was our city's 100th birthday, I was thinking, how do I ensure that we have yet another 100 years? And that's where I figured we have to have a healthy city, and that's healthy people, and that's a healthy economy, and that's a healthy government, which is, open government. So for me, whenever any decision comes before me, I always look at a healthy city lens. That's what I look through to decide, is this going to be good for the future health of Beverly Hills? And I developed programs, for example, every Monday I would do Walk with the Mayor, which was a way for us to get out and be healthy. Every Monday we would meet in front of City Hall. We had between 200 and 400 people that would meet every Monday. We would walk the city, so we would get healthy, start the week healthy, and we would also visit businesses. So it was a great way to bring residents to businesses, and we saw over just about 100 businesses in that one year. So to me, it was a great way to start the week in a healthy way.
And it really combined everything about the economy and the people and just everything being healthy. And I actually was fortunate enough to attend one of the walks with the mayors on one of the days we didn't have school, and it had such a sense of community. Right. I really felt, even though there had been many before I joined, I really felt like I belonged there. And it was so much fun and so refreshing and just such a great time. And as you said, a great way to start our week.
I thought so. And I think the other part of it, what I loved, is I don't want people to think of people who are elected as somebody that's not approachable. What I love about what I do is I give everybody my cell phone number. I'm on social media. I want everyone to feel that if they want to talk to me about anything, that I'm there to do that. So this was a way that people knew on a Monday morning, if you want to talk to the mayor, you know where you can find me. And it would be, we would spend a few hours together and talk about any sort of issue. It was about open government and tremendous amount of friendships, getting to know your neighbors, and it was a real great sense of community and love. And so I'm glad that you felt that way.
And there was actually a Vogue article written about you and your campaign with Walk with the Mayor. Can you tell me about how it felt to be recognized in such a prestigious magazine and what the process was like of getting that written?
That was really exciting. Yes, actually Vogue did write about it, as did the LA Times. And I think it was really because they thought it was a new form of government, that this would hopefully inspire other people in leadership to take themselves outside of the walls of their offices or city hall and bring them out into the public. And I did actually hear that there were other mayors in other cities that were doing it. They weren't necessarily doing it every week like I was doing it, but they were doing it once a month or every few months. And so for me, I think if it in any way gave people the inspiration to go out and really have that kind of connection outside of their office, I think it was a success.
And you also mentioned you're very active and accessible on social media. You even have a verified Instagram
Yes.
account, which shows how truly involved you are. Can you tell me a little bit about how the response has been since before you made your account and then now after you have thousands of followers, so much engagement, and what effects it has shown?
Thank you. So when I ran, for the first time that I ran, I was the only candidate at the time that was using social media. Now everybody does, but at the time I was the only one, and I was using Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. And I think the other difference for me is it's me. I'm doing my own posting. I don't have anybody else doing it for me. It's my voice. It's how I feel. It's really authentic. And I really want people to know who I am. I want people to know the real me and what I'm about. And I think social media gives the ability to have that kind of a connection. I can post something and then somebody will give me a comment or give me some suggestions. And really some great friendships can come from social media as well. So for me, it's been a great way to connect with thousands of people. And it's really important for me that it really reflects. I want people to really see me and understand me, and that's been a great way to do it.
And another aspect of your Healthy City campaign involved Bold.
Yes.
So Bold has been such an extravagant thing that our whole entire community and tourists have been able to really take part in and enjoy. Can you tell me about how that started, where that idea stems from, and how incredible it has become today?
Oh, thank you. Well, I really saw that our city for many, many years was a city that somewhat went to sleep early. By 6 o'clock, many of the things were closed. And, I just think we're in a different world now. I really feel that Beverly Hills is such a great city that we have so much to offer during the day and at night. And I felt that we have that element as well as the fact our whole world is changing in terms of retail. Where people right now are more apt to buy things online less than going to a store, because it's so easy now to do that. So, and we have malls like Westfield who invested $1 billion to essentially create almost like a mini city. And I just felt that Beverly Hills has always been such a visionary, unique, fantastic city that we needed to show the world that we have something exciting to do during the day and at night. So BOLD stands for Beverly Hills Open Later Days, which was we were encouraging the stores and the restaurants and experiential, fun things to happen on the street to happen during the day and at night. But for me, being bold is also a state of mind. It's about taking risks. It's about trying new things and being different. And that is what I think Beverly Hills, really, that's the foundation of what we're made of. So it's been exciting because now you see thousands of people on our streets now during the day and at night, enjoying our restaurants, enjoying our stores, and they don't have to go anywhere else because there's so much to do in our city.
And as a former intern at the Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce, I got to see the inside take of our Summer Bold kickoff. So that featured countless events, different activities during the day and the night.
Exactly.
Can you tell me a little bit about both the Bold summer and winter activities and when we could expect our next fun month to come?
Well, we chose to do Bold in August and during the holidays, during the Christmas time. August primarily was chosen because we were working with the Conference and Visitors Bureau, the Chamber, and the Rodeo Drive Committee. And it was discovered that August was a time when we have a lot of tourism. And the general managers of our hotels were telling me up until Bold, they were sending their guests outside of Beverly Hills because there was nothing to do at night. So with August Summer Bold, we changed that. We had the opening party, as you saw, where we had music and excitement. But we made that for all of August, where stores stayed open late. We had music on the streets. We had experiential photo opportunities where people could do that. We had different entertainment that were happening on the streets throughout the night. People were dining on the streets and walking around, and there was music. And it really brought a sense of vibrancy so that you could walk around on a summer night at 10 o'clock at night and still feel like it's, you know, like you're in Europe. This wonderful, vibrant energy. People were shopping and enjoying that. So we did that in August. And we also did that in December because December is, you know, holiday month and really a fun time to encourage holiday shopping and holiday spirit. And, you know, we'll hopefully be doing it again this summer.
And in addition to Bold, what other measures do you hope to take in your next term on City Council to really enhance community engagement?
Well, I think it's about being really creative. It's about trying to find new experiential, whether it's restaurants or shopping or anybody, or music, just something creative and out of the box that's unique to Beverly Hills, that is, you know, something for everybody. Because we want Beverly Hills to be absolutely, which it is. I mean, you could go and stay in a beautiful hotel, or you can enjoy just having a cup of coffee in one of our wonderful coffee houses. We have fabulous parks. We have different streets that appeal to different ages and different tastes. And I think that's what it's about, is that Beverly Hills has something for everybody, and it's about bringing in and encouraging all kinds of businesses and restaurants to let them know, we want you here. We're going to make sure that we make it easy for you to open in our city, and that this is a place where you want to be and visit.
And you spoke about our parks being such a major part of our community. We have so many beautiful parks with so much to offer. Our La Cienega Park is actually, there's talks of it being renovated. Can you speak a little bit to the discussions going on what to do with our park?
Absolutely. So with La Cienega Park, we had a tremendous amount of public outreach. We had many, many, many meetings where we asked the community for them to just decide what is it that their vision is for La Cienega Park, because, you know, we have a subway that's going to be opening just a few blocks from there. The southeast area of Beverly Hills is really going to be revitalized by that. So we had many meetings, and in those meetings, people really shared their vision and shaped how they view La Cienega Park could be. And, you know, some of the ideas was to add swimming pools, add tennis, add some, you know, rooms to have events and such. So now that we have that on the table, the next step is we have to get a budget to see how much indeed it's going to cost, and then after that decide how much this community really wants to spend to build whatever their dream La Cienega Park is. So first step was to see what it is that we wanted, and now we have to see what is it that makes sense in terms of a budget to create, you know, the future for Beverly Hills for La Cienega Park.
And one of the metro stops will be right next to La Cienega Park. How has the metro being introduced in our community changed the vision you have for the future of our community? Because before we were pretty closed off. The only access would be people driving into our city. So now that we have metro stops throughout our amazing city, how is that changing the way we see the economics of our city?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in terms of the metro, there's a few elements that I have in mind regarding that. One, right now we have to manage the impacts of construction, because when you have construction like that, clearly there's some impact. So we have to find a way to not let that disrupt the residents or the businesses. So we've been working on trying to manage the time that they're doing the construction so people still want to come to Beverly Hills and enjoy our city. I also think that having a subway in Beverly Hills will be ultimately very positive. And the other part of the subway that's equally very important is that we have to make sure it's safe. We've been working with our police department to make sure that, you know, they're going to be helping with the policing of the area and make sure that when the subway does come through Beverly Hills, that everybody does feel safe in having a subway in our town. But ultimately, I think it's going to be wonderful because I think having that regional element and to give the people the opportunity to not always take their car, to be able to get in a subway and travel and walk and do all, more of the excitement of our city. I think it'll be ultimately, once we finish building it, I think it'll be great.
And one of Metro's building sites is right outside of our campus, our Beverly Hills High School campus. And last year there was a lot of parent concern about the dangers that presents. How has that been mediated with the city, the Metro, and the district? And how can students on campus feel safe that they're not being harmed by anything the Metro is doing?
Absolutely, and that was something that the city with the school district and Metro have worked hand in hand, literally, truly focusing on making sure that it's safe. And it's being monitored every single day to make sure that the air quality is safe, to make sure that our students are safe, because number one priority is that people feel safe. So it's something that the school district, along with the city and Metro, pretty much every single day is on top of to make sure that we keep our students safe, because there is nothing more important than that.
And switching gears a little bit, Beverly Hills has the most beautiful landscape. We have our palm tree lined streets and we have our beautiful mountain ranges that are filled with nature. Recent times we've seen a lot of wildfires around the country and around the globe. So what measures are being taken around our home and our town where we have so many trees and so much wildlife that can get harmed?
And, as I've said, in terms of being a healthy city, we have to be a safe city. Our fire department has been ahead of that as well and have done their own studies and reports to make sure that we're ahead of that, because we want to be the safest city, that God forbid that there is no fire, and that we do whatever we can as a precaution, that certain trees are more flammable than others. So right now, example in Truesdale, our fire department is going and looking at every tree to see if that tree is a flammable tree, if it's a tree that needs to leave, if it's okay to be there, because we want to get ahead of that, so God forbid that we wouldn't have any sort of emergency. And we are looking at it right now as we speak. This past Monday, our fire department has been red tagging certain trees that will need to go because of some hazard potentiality, and we are ahead of that, so we will never have, God willing, any sort of disaster like that.
And do you know of any new technologies being implemented, such as fire sensors, or any new devices that can be put in place to ensure that if something, God forbid, does happen, our fire department will immediately be notified?
Yes, well, as I said, right now what the fire department is doing is looking at the landscape to make sure that there isn't anything that could cause the flammable issue that we're talking about. But ultimately, our city is looking at having like sirens in our city throughout. Part of one of my proposals, should I get elected, is a program, an initiative that I have that's called Just in Case. My goal is that we are a city that is the most prepared city for any sense of emergency. Currently, there's a lot of people in this community, if God forbid there was an emergency, they don't even know where to go or what to do. And my feeling is I want every single person who lives in our city or works in our city to know what to do, is prepared, that we know, if there's somebody who is, aging in place and they are not mobile or whatever, that we are prepared. And I've been working with the police department and the fire department to have a program in place that everybody is ready just in case there's an emergency.
That sounds really amazing. We look forward to that. Regarding new technologies in our city, we have Beverly Hills Fiber on its way, so that would make the city the internet provider of all of its citizens. So a lot of this infrastructure has been put in place over the past couple years. Where do you see it going, and when can we expect to get internet for Beverly Hills?
That's a great question. So we are currently working on that. We are just about done putting that in the southeast and in Truesdale. And we actually have this item on our agenda for Tuesday. One other thing that people don't realize is, other than just the internet providing that this fiber will give us, it also allows for the cameras that we're talking about that's going to be throughout our city. So this coming Tuesday at our council meeting, we'll get a status as to where we are. But currently, right now, it's the Southeast and Truesdale, and we're looking to other parts of our city.
And as you mentioned earlier, you yourself are a product of our public schools. Your sons also went to our public schools. What do you see as the role of our schools in our community, and how are they being supported by our city?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, like many of us, like my parents and most of us, we bought a home in Beverly Hills because of our schools. You know, it's, you know, I feel that our city, you know, the foundation of who we are is police, fire, and schools. Truly, that is the heart and the soul of our community. So, and for me personally, it has shaped everything that I am. But having a thriving school district, to me, is what makes our city as great as it is. So it's key, it's important, it's the soul, it is really the foundation of what makes us fantastic.
And in addition to the JPA, the Joint Powers Agreement the city has with our schools, what future commitments are we seeing between the city and the school?
Well, you know, to me, other than the JPA and security, obviously, I would just say, and I've said this to, you know, the members of the school board, parents, you know, students, you know, me personally, anything that this school district ever needs, I'm there to do it, because, like I said, it is the heart and soul of our community. So when the school district, you know, ever needs anything from the city, we're there, because, you know, we're related, we're connected, we're each other's fiber. As the way I see it, we have to be there hand in hand, heart to heart, to, you know, thrive together.
And speaking of our schools, about 2 years ago we had a walkout on gun violence, and you were such a powerful force on our campus during the walkout. You came and you walked with our students, held up signs.
Oh my God, yes.
We're such a powerful force. How do you think that students who are interested in civic involvement and activism can really start right now to grow into people who really do make change in the future?
Well, I think that's you. I think that's what you're doing. You know, I think that the walkout is a perfect example, and I think, to me, what I'm seeing here at Beverly is that the students see that they can make an impact and make a difference. Like that walkout, you know, that made the news. Everybody knew what we were doing. And what I would say to that is I would just want every student, if they have a cause, to just go out and you know, believe in it and not feel that they can't make a difference, because truly, one voice can change the world. And I really believe that the students here at Beverly have that ability, because I think we are a community that has so much heart that can make change. And that's a perfect example of an opportunity that, you know, that can create change. And anytime any student has something, I'm there. Count me in.
Thank you. So you were saying that you have lived in Beverly Hills and we have such a small town feel. Well, obviously from shows like 90210 and other Beverly Hills shows, we have such a different outward appearance to the world. What do you want other people in the world to know about our city?
Well, I think that's what I was hoping Walk with the Mayor would do, is I wanted people to see that we are an open-hearted, inclusive, kind city that wants everybody to feel like this is a second home to them. I want anybody who comes to Beverly Hills, either to live, to work, to visit, to feel like this is home to them. That, you know, they feel that there's a part of this city that they can take home with them in their heart, that they're welcome, that they feel included, and I think that is really who we are. And I really feel that we're doing a better job in letting the world know that.
And what is the outlook that you have for our city in this upcoming decade, the decade of 2020?
I view it as a positive. You know, when people talk about a candidate, for example, for Beverly Hills City Council, very often people are labeled, oh, that person is, you know, pro-resident or pro-business. I view myself as pro-Beverly Hills. And so the way I see it is, you know, I think that that next decade, there's so many possibilities, and I view it as a very optimistic opportunity to shape all the generations to come. There's so much excitement and possibility in this next decade that I really feel a sense of optimism. And like I said, just this sense of, yes, we can get this done. And it's very exciting, very exciting.
And we're very excited for the life that is to come. but what has been the most important thing that life itself has taught you?
I would kind of go back to what I had said earlier about my mom, full circle, and that is to never give up. That is that when you have a dream, that you see it in your mind's eye, you see it as already accomplished, that you know you can do it, and that you just don't give up on it, that you have faith in it, you have faith in your community, have faith in humanity, and I think life has taught me to just, believe, to just believe that anything's possible.
Mayor Bosse, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you. I have loved being with you, and I am so proud of you. You're amazing.
Thank you. And if somebody is really touched by your message, how can they show that at the polls?
Well, please vote for Lili Bosse, and I promise you, I won't let you down. I'll make you proud.
Thank you. Voting is on March 3rd. Make sure to visit the polls. Thank you again so much for joining me, and thank you for watching The Danesh Show. I'm Eva Danesh.